Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to days 21 and 22. Getting down to the end of the wire. Was planning on filming 2 days yesterday and I went out and ran a bunch of errands and I was feeling really good, and then I laid down for a nap and that was all she wrote. So just couldn't get the energy to get up here into my scrap space, and we had a late night the night before. We had taken Preston and his brother Dylan to a hockey game in Chicago. My nephew works for the Chicago Wolves and was able to get tickets for my whole side of the family. So there was 17 of us that went to go cheer on my nephew in his job behind the scenes for the hockey team. But these guys had never been to a hockey game before and never, not even, and then the Chicago Wolves, they're, I don't know if you call them a junior team or, but they're not like Chicago Blackhawks is the professional team. These guys are the step down. And so we have, in our area, we have two local teams. We have Rockford Ice Hogs, where I usually go to those games, and then the Chicago Wolves, and just a fun night, a late night for us. And so, yeah, I think I was between recovering from my cold, which I'm feeling much better, and also for having a late night the night before. I think it all hit me yesterday. And yeah, so today is Sunday, New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve. Some of you may already be welcoming in the new year. Good wishes for you in 2024. I have a few things planned. My channel, my only thing I'm hoping for is a little bit more consistency. But again, this is a hobby, so, the work and that kind of stuff takes precedent, but hoping that I can get a little more consistency on the channel for you guys, and we'll see what happens. Trying to just, I think this is the year of, how did I phrase it to my sister? I think it was just the year of just do it. I'm the queen of procrastination. And so I think there's things that you just have to, even if you're really tired, kick yourself to go, okay, you need to move forward and get through it, and you'll find that you can succeed. So that's kind of where my life is kind of turning. So yesterday kind of was a little bit of a step in that direction. In the morning, I was doing things that I could have easily told myself, next week, and I actually went out and did a few things. So anyway, that's kind of where YouTube's going to be a little bit, where I'm going to try and maybe get ahead. Right now I'm working day of, and that kind of, it works, but then again, it doesn't. I would like to have a little padding in there, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I blabber, and that just makes this longer. So today, I'm not going to be using this page protector, and actually I'll move it to the side right now so you don't get the glare. We are going to be documenting the day that my husband and I went out to go do a last minute Christmas shopping. So with me getting the flu, I got it on a Thursday, and I was down with a fever for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, low grade temp on Monday, Tuesday morning a little bit. And then Wednesday, I went out and ran a couple errands on my own. I went to Bath & Body Works and to Harbor Freight, which is two local stores in our area. Managed to have enough energy to do that. And there's a funny story with Bath & Body Works that I want to document. And then I talked my husband into driving me on Friday to finish up the last of our presents, which we needed to get for Dylan and Preston. So we went to Farm and Fleet, again, another local store that carries toys and stuff for the kids. And his reward for that was our Christmas present to each other was to go to Texas Roadhouse. And I had done my nails up, and they lasted partway through the night. I've still got to figure out how to do them better, but we'll work on them. Really, but for fake nails, these were kind of cool. Anyway, want to document that. And then so that's going to be day 21. And then on day 22, I want to tell the story about childhood shows that we used to watch as kids. In the Chicagoland area, one of our stations was WGN, and they had Bozo Circus was a huge thing, and they would play at Christmas time 3 shows. You had Hard Rock Coco and Joe, and this is just a screenshot of Santa, and Hard Rock Coco and Joe were elves of Santas, and so I want to tell that story. And then you had Susie Snowflake, and then you had, this was the original Frosty the Snowman, and it was a staple. And now I can still find them on YouTube, and so I still every year will go on to YouTube and watch the 3 because, you know, I've watched it my whole life growing up. And I believe if you live, we're more towards the Rockford land area, and still get more of Rockford, Wisconsin TV channels, so we don't get the Chicago local stations from our house. But I believe if you're in close to the Chicagoland area, they still, on one of the local news stations, will play the 3 cartoons because, again, if you've grown up, especially a child of the 70s, well, I was born in 64, so mid to late 60s, the 70s, and I believe even my daughter watched it in the early 80s. If you're a child of that era, and you mentioned Bozo Circus, and you mentioned these 3 Christmas cartoons, everybody in the Chicagoland area will know because it was more of a local thing. So that is the story. Now for this, I want to make a pocket. So let me grab my paper pad. I think I want to use this Park Lane one again that came from, this comes from Joann Fabrics. And I really like this color series that came in this one. What I want is something that's double paged because I'm going to cut it so you're going to see, when you fold over, you're going to see part of one pattern and part of another, and then that same pattern will be on the back. Hopefully that will make sense. So we want it to all look, since you're going to see both sides of the pattern, I want something that's not so busy that it's going to like totally make your eyes go bonkers, but so we'll see. And I did, the last one I used, we used that plaid and the greenery, and I used the Green Mary. Oh no, that one came from the other one. I think I'm good with patterns. We used this one the last time. Now I do have this one, which is kind of cool. I would just have to keep in mind when I'm cutting it that I have to cut it to where, if I'm folding, I have to think here for a minute. We're going to score it, and then we're going to fold it so that you'll have the red coming over. But then I'm going to cut and score here, and so this is going to flip up, and this, so this will not work because it would have the Happy Holidays upside down. So I'm going to have to pick a pattern that doesn't have a direction on both sides. So like this one, the trees won't work because when I go to do the flap, the trees would be upside down. So I have to think of it, it has to be non-directional on both sides. So this one would work. Let's just go ahead and pull it out. Even though I used it the day before, we could only see a little bit on that one. This is directional, so that won't work. Okay, let's do this one because we haven't done this one. So it's the snowflakes, and they're not directional, and we haven't done this. And then you're going to get the pop of green and the pop of red. so now let me put this to the side and I'll show you what I was talking about. So let me grab my trimmer. And then I'm going to need that page that we took out. So the first thing I want to do, which will be the easiest thing, I want to figure out which is going to be my big pocket. So I need my Hard Rock, when I fold it over, this is going to be the shopping page. This is going to be the Hard Rock Coco and Joe page. So I think I need to decide, first of all, do I want Hard Rock Coco and Joe on here? Or do I want Hard Rock Coco and Joe on here? I think I'm going to go and put it on the red side. I just think that we can add a pop and get some colors. I could be wrong, but we're going to go with it. I don't know. I just, because it's just going to be an all over like a regular 6x8 layout when I'm done. So what I'm doing here is I know that I want the page in my book to be the same width as all my pages that have page protectors. And I'm going to be adding hole punches to here. So I know that this is where I'm going to score it and then fold it over. So let me find, somewhere in here is my scoring blade here. Somewhere, here's a bone folder, this will work. All right, so I have my bone folder, and if you have a trimmer like this and you don't, I have a scoreboard, but to get it out for this project didn't make sense. So you can use the groove in your cutter to use as your, to do your fold. All right, so now that I've gone and I've scored it, we now know that this is where we're going to fold it in half. So this is how my flap is going to look when it's in the book. Okay. So it'll be hole punched here. You'll see we'll decorate the front. You'll flip it open, and then we'll have the story of shopping. Okay. So now I know that my length has to end here, because again, I want it to be the same footprint as my other page protectors. So to make it easy for right now, because of how I'm going to make my pocket, I need to score it one more time. And so we're going to score it again, lining up the page protector so that I score here. And let me kind of move this around here. So again, running down the length of the paper. So now I have my score. And let's move that out of the way. So, okay, so now that I have my pocket and my page made, the next thing I'm going to do is go in and work on the Susie Snowflake, Hard Rock Coco and Joe, and the Frosty the Snowman page. And I decided that I wanted to take some of these Vicki Boutin tags and use those as like a backing or matting for the photos, and it would add a little bit of interest. Part of it was cut off. You didn't need to see me cutting all these apart, and this is just the final of me just kind of cleaning them up after cutting them with my trimmer. And once I get done cleaning them up, then I'm going to go through and pick out 3 of them. And I'm kind of throwing, as I'm cleaning them, I'm kind of throwing the ones I have in mind up in that corner up there, and the ones I know I'm not going to work that have the pink and things, I'm just throwing them to the left, and we'll just throw them into my stash to be used later. So now that I have this all trimmed out. I'm going to get rid of my scraps here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and pick out the ones that I want. And I end up going and picking the ones that are green. And so here I have the green gingham, the one that has the green holly, and then there's another one that's just kind of like a green pinstripe. And I am going to leave a little bit of a gap between the Susie Snowflake picture and the one of the Frosty the Snowman, where I can add my journaling. I thought by doing this, it just kind of changes it up a little bit and is not your typical either have your journaling on the top or the bottom. I'm just adding it to the middle just to, again, it kind of adds a little bit of interest and takes it out of the norm. So here I am. I'm just going to go ahead and glue them down with my ATG, leaving that little gap. Now here's where I'm going to struggle. I'm going to go through so many of my tags and things and labels and try and find a label that will fit between the two, between the two tags. So the first thing I did was grab the Vicki Boutin tags, and I'm writing the name of each of the shows. So and then I'm going through and I go through the Vicki Boutin, and I didn't see anything that would work. So then I decided to go into my stash and see if I had anything in my pre-cut Vicki Boutin stuff, and I didn't. And I was also looking to see if I had any of my Nicole Jones cut-aparts in there. Didn't see it. I pulled out my 49 and Market. They didn't have any labels. So then I went into the die cuts, and they did have a die cut that had labels, and of course they were too wide, and I'm like, darn. So then I end up, when I get done doing all this searching, I end up taking this tag, and I'm just going to fussy cut out the inside journaling part and only keep the white part, and I only need like 2 of the lines, and then I'm going to mat it on some of the green paper. And that's just going to be big enough for me to write, growing up watching Bozo's Circus, you knew Christmas was coming with these cartoons playing. And that's going to be, more than enough journaling. Now I'm going to go through the Echo Park books, and I'm going to find 3 snowflakes. I'm going to put a green one at the top, a green one at the bottom, and a red one in the middle. And then the next thing I'm going to look for is my number, and I'm actually going to put on the number 21. And then I found a banner that said Happy Holidays, and I moved that around a little bit, but I end up putting it on top of Frosty. And now that I have these done, now I'm moving into the inside because I now have my day 21 done. So I knew that I wanted in the pocket a giant tag that was going to have all my journaling, and I kind of knew I wanted to have like a Santa Claus or something, because and so I thought this is a perfect time to grab one of those 49 and Market pages that has the the clusters in all the pre-printed items, and then it has the back side, and the back side what does it say on it? It just has like text print, Taste and Smells, Merry Harp. And so it's just all this kind of Christmassy text, probably came from a Christmas journal or book. I did a little doodly border around the white part that I put down for my journaling. And again, I'm going back to the Echo Park book, and I grabbed out a poinsettia and then the snow globe. And that's all the decoration I'm going to have on the back. And I will end up doing the full tag with journaling. Next, I'm moving over to the left-hand side where I am going to document our day out shopping. And I'm going to go ahead and mat the photo of my steak salad I got at Texas Roadhouse, a picture of my husband, Farm and Fleet where we went shopping, and then a picture of my holiday nails. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that towards the bottom half of the page, and then again use the Echo Park to put December memories and the number 22 over on the left hand side. Now, I didn't have room for the Bath and Body Works or the Harbor Freight, so I went ahead and put those behind the tag. They don't need to be visibly seen, but when you pull the tag out, you will see those two stores. I grabbed the journaling card that had the frog clip on it for my journaling. I like that it said making a list and checking it twice. Put that on the front along with the Merry Christmas and 2 snowflakes. Then moving to the back side, I am going to work on day 23, and that is just going to be the Chex Mix. So I go ahead and mat that on green, and then the picture of the Chex Mix I made, I'm going to put it on this red and green plaid paper, and I'm kind of fussy cutting it out so I have the colors I want, and then used another one of the tags from Vicki Boutin where I'm going to have my journaling. It says, made a double batch of Chex Mix for our Christmas Eve party. I think I was the one who ate the whole bowl, and that would be why yesterday I went back to my Weight Watchers meeting, because I think I salted and carved myself out. I added some twine along with a tag that says Christmas Kitchen and Yummy, and the number 23. And that is going to be it for this 3-page. So it was 3 days in one. And I like, again, the interaction. Off camera, I had forgot to put the Avery tab label on, so I added that with the tab that says The Magic of Christmas and Making Spirits Bright.